Hello, hi, sweet lovely people. My name is Jess Marie and welcome back. Today I would love to talk about sustainability and what does it mean in our modern society. It is so difficult for people who, like myself, who really struggle with seeing all the stuff that's going on in the world, seeing these one-use items, especially during this virus, the state that we're in my community, we were actually going in a direction where they were banning one-use items, such as straws, such as plastic forks, stuff like that that cannot be degradable. Wooden forks were kind of the directions, paper straws, shit like that. Drop a bomb in the first 45 seconds. Sorry, but anyways, we are going in that direction, and then the pandemic happened. People are doing takeout all the time. Skip the dishes, DoorDash. You can do something else. Please do something else, because that stuff, if you're doing that all the time, I see jokes about it on the TV where it's like, oh, you don't cook, you just have a bunch of white containers. It's like, yeah, that's a problem. Not only for mental state, because creating something, a beautiful dish. Last night we had lamb sausages. Rob and I made a mint sauce for the first time. We had Greek salad. We had rosemary potatoes. And we felt so good, and asparagus. We felt so good about ourselves for trying that mint sauce. And hey, what can we do to make this better? What is something we can do to improve on this so it's more consistent it's more like a glaze? And that is so healthy for someone's mind to do. I get it. People are tired. They don't want to cook at the end of the day. That's fine. Meal prep. Do something. Have some, like, I don't know what the answer is, but really, the answer is not buying your food all the time. We're in a situation, I don't enjoy it, but we do at least once a month. Sushi, I'm really bad for takeout sushi. I can't help it. What am I gonna do? This is like the thing where it's like, do I sit in and get the sushi, not get it at all? I can get a roller and make it myself, but I don't know, I don't really want to do that. So I just feel like in that sense, it's a predicament. I've slowed down, especially because that's my pregnancy craving, is sushi, sushi, sushi. But I want to read the definition of sustainability by McGill University. Sustainability means meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So, first thing I think of is factory farming, and you know, like right now it's not too bad, but it's going to get to a point where there's no land. People are going to be living in these little monopolies of communities, like I'll think Vancouver City, where Chilliwack is all farmland. People can't buy land the same way anymore. And if they buy land in certain areas, it might be like, hey, in 20 years, hey, we'd like to buy your land. And then there's that fear, oh, what if my kids sell our land? Like, that would be the worst. But it's not as easy to buy sustainable meats the same way. We have a sustainable, like, it's not sustainable, but we have a small meat market. It's not a meat market, it's like a little meat tent. But they have like goat meat and pork and all this kind of stuff, sheep. But it's like $50 to $60 for a little roast. And it's like, well, what do you expect? Like, of course I'm gonna go and get 4 chicken breasts, a roast, and a pack of 4 steaks. Well, maybe not 4 steaks, but you get the point, for the same price. Meat that's gonna feed the family for the week, opposed to meat that's a treat, meat that's tastes very good, and it's so good for the body to eat something that isn't processed. You notice the difference? I promise you this. To notice the difference of eating something that is locally grown in a small scale opposed to something where there's hundreds of animals all near each other, and the stress of, oh shit, Bob beside me just got shot, I'm next. That stress, that adrenaline going through the body, that fear going through the body, we eat that. We ingest that. This is the only time I agree with vegetarians and vegans where it's like, yeah, that I don't like. I'm not either, but I'm very particular with what I eat, and I try to be better. I try to eat stuff that isn't as bad. But it's a process, you know? It's a total process of every week just doing something a little bit better. So today my goal is laundry detergent. I'm going to try to make my own laundry detergent if I can find the correct products. So I need 5 bars of Castile soap. I think London Drugs has some. It's right in walking distance. If not, I actually might have to do this tomorrow when I can get my food processor, and because it needs to be blended. But washing soda, usually it's sold in the supermarket's laundry section. Borax and citric acid, which is optional. So I'm gonna try really hard to do this because it's something that I'm passionate about. I get very discouraged having a bunch of, like, I just want to show you guys this quickly. Look at all those pots. Those are just a bunch of pots that, you know what, if we don't use them, they're gonna go in the garbage. Who bought these pots? When Rob and I go thrift shopping, it's like, what are we gonna use this for? What do we need it for? And when we moved out of our old place, we threw a bunch of stuff out. Candle holders, yeah, it was a dope candle holder, but we don't need it. It never got used. There was no space for it. I don't plan on having a big home. Having a big home just means that you have more shit to fill, more sections of a house to fill, more places to clean. I'm not into that. In addition to natural resources, we also need social and economic resources. Sustainability is not just environmentalism. It's not just being about the environment and keeping the environment clean. Embedded in most definitions, sustainability, we also find concerns for social equity and economic development. So the economy has to continue to grow and continue to expand. So we still need to buy things. We still need to support businesses and make sure money is flowing. That's the economy. The money has got to flow, but it's very specific of where we buy our products and what we are buying, who we are supporting. We have the power. We as consumers have the power to decide what we buy and don't buy. Whether we choose to go to Walmart or to go to Save-On. I know it's such a freaking dilemma because our wages suck. It's so difficult at 23 to have a good paying job. I make $17 an hour. I'm pretty stoked about that. But it's not enough. If I was paying for rent on my own, or even if Rob and I were paying for rent, it would not be enough to be able to do the things that we want to do, pay for the food that we wanted to do, pay for the quality of food that we wanted to. Not just food in general, but the quality of food. And especially having somebody who's gluten intolerant, there's a lot of things that we have to shy away from. So there's that. And social equity. I get on so many tangents. I hope you guys are okay with that. But and also my throat is so dry today. I can't even, but it's just the way it goes. Social equity is, I don't know if I'm going to define this right, but I know what equity is. Equity is when we all have equal opportunities to start at the same point. So equality is everybody gets to start the race. Equity is making sure that, oh, you have a broken leg? We are going to give you a head start in the race because you have a broken leg, because you have no leg, you have a birth defect, you have no leg, you have only one parent, you have parents who are consuming alcohol, and we don't want you to go down the same path. We want to help you and your community that you're in. That is how I understand equity. Social equity, I think, is kind of explained in that, but I could be wrong. I'm going to quickly look up the definition. I did do a lot of research when George Floyd had passed away, and just the difference between sorry, I'm trying to think and do two things at the time. Equity and equality, yeah. So I did quite a bit of research when it comes to the difference. People were asking for equality, but I think we're asking for equity. So I think, like, you know, everybody has the right to vote. We're at a situation now where everybody has the right to vote, but there was a lot of people during that time who there was no polling offices or one polling office in a people of color community. And it was just like, that's, everybody has the right to vote. That's the equality, but equity is not being met because there was 5 polling stations in a white community compared to 1 voting station in a black community. That's not equity. They don't have the same opportunity, so people are waiting in line all day. People are missing work. People are paying for childcare, or their children are with them. People aren't eating all day. That's social equity. Social equity is concerned with justice and fairness of social policy. It can vary, the definition can vary, but all focus on ideals of justice and fairness. Okay. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. And I think I understand it, but I am in a process of learning, and I want you all to come on me with this journey of learning and becoming more sustainable as I grow, to learn how to replace things that aren't single use anymore, that can be used multiple times. I would love for you all to be on this journey with me, that we can learn how to make our laundry soap, that it's not going to be more expensive to make it and to have it than it is to buy it, you know? That's the worst. Nobody wants that. So as I grow and gain knowledge, I am open to sharing that with everybody who decides to listen. And for those who made it this far, thank you for putting up with my raspy voice. I drank all my water. So, there we are. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will stay tuned. Bye.